Hiya, good evening, welcome along. Thank you very much for joining us. It is Saturday, the 12th of August. It's a little bit sort of darker in here than it normally is. I've got my curtains shut. As I pre-record this, they're just doing some work outside. I'm just going to turn that up a touch as well. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. There we go, that's better. Yeah, they're just doing some work outside at the minute. So hence, well, yeah, it does look a bit different on my screen. Anyway, not going to affect anything. 50 questions then, as always, coming up in about a minute's time. So yeah, pre-recording this ahead of Thursday's quiz because we made the last minute decision, even though I'm not feeling 100% up to it. As you're watching this, we'll be in a campsite in Kent. I can't remember where it is off the top of my head now. But yeah, so we're traveling down. We're traveling down Friday. So by the time you get to this Saturday, we'll have had our second night in our tent. So yeah, hope it all goes well. Same as Thursday's quiz. So we're continuing with the August takeover, however, sporadically spreading them around rather than doing complete ones. So tonight, there is 2 rounds supplied by you lovely people out there this evening. The other 3 rounds have been written by me. So yeah, all good fun. All good fun as always for you guys to get into this evening. So yeah, we've got about 18 seconds to go and we will be up and running. Oh, and the usual bits for the breaks. Yeah, good point. So one of those has been supplied by you lovely people as well this evening. Some brilliant Ditloids. We'll come to those in the second break. I've written the first break. Came across a very weird survey this week, so I thought I'd see how you guys get on with it as well. But there we go. We are into it and we are up and running. Welcome along. It is Saturday the 12th of August. Thank you very much for joining us. So 50 questions then in front of us. Let's get underway then tonight. We'll start then with entertainment for you. I've written this round. So here we go. Number 1. Axel Foley was Axel Foley was the Eddie Murphy played character central to which movie series? Oh, it's really weird. So I've had some work done on my ears and I can hear a lot clearer, but it's really weird. Question number 2. Doodle was the name of the dog in which children's TV show? Oh, yeah, I meant to check that, actually. The answer I've got is right, but I just need to... Doodle dog. Oh, brilliant. Doodle dog TV. So I've got a funny feeling it might be in a different show. It might be in another show as well. I will continue to search that before we get to the answers. Number 3, who is the lead singer of the Eurythmics? So who was the lead singer of the Eurythmics? Number 4, which former footballer played Bullet Tooth Tony in Snatch and Big Chris in Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels? It's a really nice guy he is as well. He used to have greyhounds, and I'm giving too much away. I'll tell you the story afterwards. So which former footballer played Bullet Tooth Tony in Snatch and Big Chris in Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels? Number 5, who played Jessica Fletcher in the TV show Murder, She Wrote? So who played Jessica Fletcher in the TV show Murder, She Wrote? Number 6, which member of U2 duetted with Frank Sinatra in 1993 on their version of I've Got You Under My Skin? It came up on a random playlist the other day. I was like, oh, I like that. So which member of U2 duetted with Frank Sinatra in 1993 on their version of I've Got You Under My Skin? Because I've got you under my skin. Number 7, who was the voice of Princess Fiona in the Shrek movie series? So who was the voice of Princess Fiona in the Shrek movie series? Number 8, who played Buffy in the TV series Buffy the Vampire Slayer? So who played Buffy in the TV series Buffy the Vampire Slayer? Number 9, the Osmonds' Love Me For a Reason was a cover hit for which 90s boy band? So the Osmonds' Love Me For a Reason was a cover hit for which 90s boy band? And your final entertainment. Hello, final entertainment question number 10. When the B-52s re-released the song Love Shack for the 1994 film The Flintstones, what letter did they add to their band name? So when the B-52s re-released the song Love Shack for the 1994 film The Flintstones, what letter did they add to their name? Round 2 then this evening, back to you guys. This comes from Cheryl Dixon with some history. There is some brilliant questions in here. There are some easy ones, there are some tricky ones. Let's get into it. Number 1, who was the last king of England to die in battle? Great question. See, it's a great question, but then I got off on a tangent when I was putting this together. And yeah, I had a great idea for a video. But anyway. Number 2, where was the Magna Carta signed? Signed, sealed, delivered. Yeah, that doesn't work, does it? Moving swiftly on. Number 3, what happened on Friday the 13th, October 1307? Now, yeah, I didn't know this, but I'm hoping there'll probably be some of you out there that will know the relevance of the date. I have had to slightly tweak the wordings on some of the questions. I did toy with, but if I'd have put something in, it would have just made it too easy. Number 4, in what year did the Chernobyl disaster occur? So in what year did the Chernobyl disaster occur? Number 5, who is known as the Mad Roman Emperor? Cheryl, if you're watching, by the way, you didn't put the answer to this one, and I tried Googling in it, and it took me a while to find the answer. But who is known, or who was known as the Mad Roman Emperor? So I'm kind of hoping I've got the right answer. This could be really awkward. Number 6, which one of Henry VIII's wives died? Which one of Henry VIII's wives died? Most people will know the saying, but can you match the wife to the saying? Jack's making some very weird noises downstairs, but I'm sure he'll pop in and say hello at some point. He knows I'm doing the quiz. Number 7, who was Mary, Queen of Scots' first husband? So who was Mary, Queen of Scots' first husband? Number 8, who was the first American president in the 18th century? This got me thinking. Who was the first American president of the 18th century? Good one for our friends over in America. Hello, good evening. Hope you are all well over there. Number 9, which Egyptian pharaoh seduced 2 Roman leaders? I'm not even attempting to pronounce that word in the middle. Which Egyptian pharaoh seduced 2 Roman leaders? I saw that when you sent it through originally, Sharon. I'm like, nope. And finally, question number 10. Which monarch wrote a book titled Demonologue in 1597, which served as a handbook to witch hunting? Again, I looked this up. I wonder if we can get away with some of these things nowadays. Might solve a few issues. Which monarch wrote a book titled Demonologue in 1597, which served as a handbook to witch hunting? In no way, shape, or form endorsing anyone going to look and find this book. Don't do that. Back to me then for the final part of round 1. Food and drink for you, 10 of these. All from me, starting with this one, number 1. Singer beer originates from which country? So Singer beer originates from which country? Number 2, what flavour is the soft drink Sprite? So what flavour is the soft drink Sprite? Number 3, which herb is used in producing pesto? So which herb is used in producing pesto? I don't like pesto, I'll be honest. Number 4, a Michelin-starred restaurant can be awarded a maximum amount of how many stars? So a Michelin-starred restaurant can be awarded a maximum amount of how many stars? My brain. I just went straight to Les Mis. Stars in their multitude, scarce to be counted. Got to be a name for it, you know, me, because I always seem to associate like words with songs, and there's got to be a name for it somewhere. Number 5, perry is made from which fruit? So perry is made from which fruit? Number 6, the Indian dish of sag aloo. Now, the aloo stands for potato, but what does the sag stand for? Panicking about mispronouncing that, so I'm glad I got through it. The Indian dish, sag aloo. Aloo stands for potato, but what does the sag stand for? Oh, you're going to get a train on the pre-recorded quiz. Train! Number 7, which chocolate had the slogan of the lighter way to enjoy chocolate? So which chocolate had the slogan, the lighter way to enjoy chocolate? Number 8, in France, what age can you legally purchase alcohol? So in France, what age can you legally purchase alcohol? I got ID'd when I was in France. I felt brilliant. 41 years old and getting ID'd. It's just a very nice feeling. Number 9, great taste, zero sugar was the slogan for which soft drink? So great taste, zero sugar was the slogan for which soft drink? And finally, number 10, which of these cheeses isn't used in the making of cheesecake? Is it mozzarella, ricotta, or cottage cheese? So which of these cheeses isn't used in the making of a cheesecake? Is it mozzarella, ricotta, or cottage cheese? So yeah, there's different types of cheesecake in terms of what cheeses are used. So they're not all used in the same one. That'd be really weird. Or would it? That's something to consider. Okie dokie, that's your first 30 questions then for you this evening. Now, if you want a recap on those, you'll have to head over to Twitter or X. Anyway, so head on over to Twitter now. Head on over to our news feed. And if the timing's slightly out, because obviously I've got to schedule all of the tweets and stuff, but at the start of the break, they'll be there. But it'll be the individual links for each round. If you go to JVPQ questions, you won't get onto them because they're hidden basically in the background of the website. Otherwise, you'd be able to find them before the start of the quiz. So yeah, head on over there now to the links, click on each individual one, and it'll take you to what round you need to look at. For your first break then this evening, let me just tweak all of my bits and pieces. That one there, that one there, and that one there. And I'm just going to shufty that to there. So for your first break this evening, I saw this poll and it quite intrigued me. So put these phobias in order from most common according to a recent YouGov poll. So 10 in total. Apologies if this triggers anybody. It's not my intention because there's a couple of things in here that I am massively afraid of. But yeah, so there's 10 phobias coming up on screen. Put them in order in terms of the percentage wise from this recent YouGov poll. And I will see you in 7 minutes. Most awkward time for my nose to run there just as the timer was finishing. Anyway, right, I'll put these in the right order for you in just a moment's time. So I'm recording this early in the week, and Thursday's not happened yet. So yeah, if anything does happen on Thursday night, that's why I've not referred to it, because this is recorded before Thursday's quiz goes out. Right, let's put these in the right order then in 3, 2, and 1. There we go. So starting, I'll start at the bottom, work my way up, but they're on screen, so you can mark them in whichever way you want. So according to the recent YouGov poll, dogs comes in at 2%, clowns at 3%. My biggest fear, needles, there at 6%. Also joint with flying, so 7th and 8th, doesn't matter if you put flying or needles, either way round, they were joint with 6%. Yeah, massive fear of needles. And last Friday I was in Burnley Hospital having loads of blood taken out of me, which was great. Just what you need when you've got a big fear of needles. Number 6, going to the dentist at 10%. Number 5, enclosed spaces with 13% of people. 14% of people have a phobia of snakes. Number 3, public speaking at 15%. 21% of people suffer with a phobia of spiders, and 23% of people have a phobia of height. And hello to you, notification. Okay, right. Yeah, tot your scores up. How did you get on with those? Did you get many of those in the right order? Again, no sort of, hopefully didn't trigger anyone with those, because yeah, like I say, I've got a massive fear of needles, so yeah, I know how real phobias can be. I don't know how cruel people can be around them as well. Yeah, I once a few years ago, having not long been with Sarah, and I don't think she realised how bad my fear of needles was. I needed to have some bloods done. It's a good few years ago now. I needed to have some bloods done, and the woman walked the needle straight in front of me. It's needless to say, I was strapped to an ECG machine because I didn't know whether I was having a heart attack or a panic attack. So yeah, I know fully well with phobias and how it can affect people. Right, get your answer sheets together for the first part of the quiz. We'll go through the answers to those then in just a moment's time. Okay, all right, here we go then. Let's see how you did with the first 30 questions then tonight. Round 1 came from me with entertainment. Number 1, Axel Foley. Was the Eddie Murphy played central character to which movie series? It was Beverly Hills Cop. I have only ever seen Beverly Hills Cop 3. I've never seen 1 or 2, and I don't know why. I'm not sure why I've never gone back and watched the other 2, because the third one is set at Wonderland. Wonderful Wonderland. Number 2, Doodle was the name of the dog in which children's TV show? It was the Tweenies. I can't find a Doodle the dog in any other children's TV series. However, if you've managed to find one or think of one, and you can show and prove to the teams that you're playing against, you can give yourself the point. But I can't find another one. But I thought there was. Number 3, who was the lead singer of the Eurythmics? It was Annie Lennox. Was Annie Lennox. Number 4, which former footballer played Bullet Tooth Tony in Snatch and Big Chris in Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels? It was Vinnie Jones. Yeah, I met him at Wimbledon Dog Track, Wimbledon Greyhound Track, many years ago, because he used to have greyhounds. One of them was named Snatch, one of them was named Lock, Stock. I think he had one named Two Smoking Barrels as well. Really nice guy. Number 5, who played Jessica Fletcher in the TV show Murder, She Wrote? It was Angela Lansbury. Number 6, which member of U2 duetted with Frank Sinatra in 1993 on their version of I've Got You Under My Skin? It was Bono. Number 7, who was the voice of Princess Fiona in the Shrek movie series? It was Cameron Diaz. Need to shifty that across for a sec. Number 8, who played Buffy in the TV series Buffy the Vampire Slayer? It was Sarah Michelle Gellar. Number 9, the Osmonds' Love Me For A Reason was a cover hit for which 90s boy band? It was Boyzone. Don't Love Me For Fun, Girl. Let me be the one you love me for every. And finally, number 10, when the B-52s re-released the song Love Shack for the 1994 film The Flintstones, what letter did they add to their name? C. So they became the BC-52s. It's one of those useless bits of knowledge I remember from the 90s. But yeah, BC-52s, they call themselves. To be fair, I think that's quite clever. As a train goes by. Yeah, I think that's quite clever. If you're going to put yourself into a prehistoric movie and your name's already B-52s, I think that's quite clever, changing it to BC-52s. Right, round 2 was history. Thanks again to Cheryl for this. Number 1, who was the last king of England to die in battle? It was Richard III. Number 2, where was the Magna Carta signed? It was Runnymede. Number 3, what happened on Friday the 13th, October 1307? The Knights Templar were arrested and executed. Number 4, in what year did the Chernobyl disaster occur? It was 1986. Number 5, who is known as the Mad Roman Emperor? Now, Cheryl, you didn't put an answer for this on there, so I had to Google, and this is what I came up with. Caligula, Gallius Caesar Augustus Germanicus. Not a clue. So if I've got that wrong, and it's a very rare occasion where I hold my hands up, if I have got that wrong and it's another answer, obviously I'm not here tonight to adjudicate. That's what I came up with on the search, on the Google search of Mad Roman Emperors. If you, again, same as previous with the Tweenies question, if you've got an answer that works better than this, don't shout about it on Twitter and what have you, because I can't react to it. There's nothing I can do about it tonight. However, yeah, just give yourselves the point. Number 6, which one of Henry VIII's wives died? It was Jane Seymour. Number 7, who was Mary Queen of Scots' first husband? It was not Francis, it was Francis. Oh, my keyboard's gone. There we go. Francis II. Number 8, who was the first American president in the 18th century? It was George Washington. Number 9, which Egyptian pharaoh seduced 2 Roman leaders? It was Cleopatra. Coming at you with the 7th. Oh, that's bad. That's really bad. Number 10, which monarch wrote a book titled De Monologue in 1597, which served as a handbook to witch hunting? It was James I. I've now got Cleopatra stuck in my head. Round 3 is my own fault. Food and drink. Number 1, this came from me. Singer beer originates from which country? It's Thailand. Number 2, what flavour is the soft drink Sprite? It is lemon and lime. Number 3, which herb is used in producing of pesto? It's basil. Number 4, a Michelin-starred restaurant can be awarded a maximum amount of how many stars? It is 3. Number 5, perry is made from which fruit? It is pears. Number 6, the Indian dish of sag aloo. Aloo stands for potato. What does the sag stand for? It is spinach. It's essentially a spinach and potato dish. Number 7, which chocolate had the slogan, the lighter way to enjoy chocolate? It was Maltesers. Number 8, in France, what age can you legally purchase alcohol? It's 18 years old. Up until, I meant to write this down. I think it was 2009. Up until 2009, it was definitely the 2000s. You used to be able to purchase beer and wine at the age of 16 in France, but then they changed the rule and put a complete blanket over it, so it's now 18 years old that you can legally purchase alcohol. Number 9, great taste, zero sugar was the slogan for which soft drink? It was Coke Zero. It's interesting, that slogan. Was that them effectively saying this is great taste with zero sugar? Basically, we're saying this is better than Diet Coke. And finally, number 10, which of these cheeses isn't used in the making of cheesecake? Mozzarella, ricotta, or cottage cheese? It is mozzarella. However, like I say, someone may have already given it a go, but give it a one or give it a go. Make a cheesecake with mozzarella. Yeah, I don't think that's going to come out well, is it? Anyway, right, tot your scores up. Let me know how you, well, say let me know how you're getting on. I'm not here tonight, but do go back through it. As I've already got a note to go through about social on Thursday, so as I will have mentioned on Thursday. Yeah, I do go back through. So do tot your scores up and let us know how you're doing. Still to come, connections round and general knowledge as always. Let me bring up my. Oh, hang on, I'm on the wrong one. Saturday, there we go. Yeah, tonight's connection round comes from Keith Turk, and I will double check in the second break to make sure whether or not Keith wanted it dedicated to anyone else as well. But for now, we'll say it's come from Keith Turk. Your connections round tonight. I'm stalling for time because obviously, like I say, normally I wait till I see scores coming through before, so I know I've given you enough time to mark your sheets and potentially hand them over to other people wherever you're playing. Yeah, these braces, I've noticed that I've back on 22nd of August to have the string, the wire moved and adjusted, but I've noticed that they're pulling my teeth through, which I don't know whether they're supposed to do that. Anyway, right, I think that's enough time. Move to that one there and there. Right, okay, as always then, connections round 4, 9 questions. Question number 10, what links all of the answers together? So let's get into it. Starting with this, number 1, what W is a city and county town on the... Is that right? Is that right? Now, I'm going to... See, I did just copy and paste, which means... Yeah, okay. I did just copy and paste, so it's my fault for not double checking. River 7. There we go. Oh, which reminds me, I changed this next one. I did go through it. So I just put the word singer. Okay. I've done it there. Okie dokie. Question number 2. Singer Catherine Hudson is better known as whom? So singer Catherine Hudson is better known as whom? So I can't remember if it's Thursday's quiz or Saturday's quiz. When I'm putting the answers into the presentation, I made a tweak to the question, and instead of changing it straight away, I can't remember. It might be Thursday's. Number 3, in which county will you find Sheringham? So in which county will you find Sheringham? Number 4, name the city on the Humber Estuary. City of Culture 2017. So name the city on the Humber Estuary that is the City of Culture 2017. Number 5, where was Winston Churchill born? So where was Winston Churchill born? Number 6, what is the name of the person who sits in the back of a rowing boat and controls its direction? So what is the name of the person who sits in the back of a rowing boat and controls its direction? Number 7, if you find or uncover something, you make a what? So if you find or uncover something, you make a what? Number 8, until 1964, this bridge on the Pacific coast of the USA was the longest suspension bridge in the world. So until 1964, this bridge on the Pacific coast of the USA was the longest suspension bridge in the world. I thought it was another... We've had fighter jets going over here in Darwin for the last few days. I thought it was coming over again. It's actually just a motorbike. Number 9, Try was a hit in 2012 for this artist. So Try was a hit in 2012 for this artist. And so, as always, what links those 9 answers together? So what links those 9 answers together? Massive thank you to Keith Turk. I will double check my emails in the break just to see if there was anyone else you wanted to dedicate it to. So yeah, some tricky questions in there, but if we worked out the connection, then they should all fall magically into place. Okay, let's wrap up the quiz then tonight with general knowledge. 10 of these. These are written by me, starting with this. Number 1, the Lambert Glacier, considered to be the world's largest, can be found on which continent? So the Lambert Glacier, considered to be the world's largest, can be found on which continent? Number 2, in the game of carom billiards, how many pockets are on the table? So in the game of carom billiards, how many pockets are on the table? On the wrong screen. Number 3, how is cotton candy known in the UK? So how is cotton candy known in the UK? Jack's seen a cotton candy, because I can't give away the answer. He's seen a thinking machine of this and keeps pecking her head saying, oh, we need a cotton candy machine. He doesn't even like it. It's weird. He's just like, oh, I want one of them. No. No. Number 4, there are only 2 countries with the letter X in their name. Mexico is one, and which other? So there are only 2 countries with X in their name. Mexico and which other? Number 5, in the game of chess, how many pieces are on each side at the start of the game? So in the game of chess, how many pieces are on each side at the start of the game? Number 6, what was the name of the only opera written by Beethoven? I didn't even know he wrote any operas, to be honest. But what was the name of the only opera written by Beethoven? I was going through famous operas and this came up and then found out that it was his only one. Number 7, who designed the current St Paul's Cathedral in London? I had to put the in London bit in case there's another St Paul's Cathedral somewhere. Number 8, which planet is second closest to the Sun? So which planet is second closest to the Sun? Number 9, what name is given to a number that is divisible only by itself and the number 1? So what name is given to a number that is divisible only by itself and the number 1? And your final question this evening, number 10. Which sign of the zodiac is symbolised by an archer? Which sign of the zodiac is symbolised by an archer? I've just realised my camera's not been on throughout the whole of that. Never mind. You don't need to see my face anyway. I'm just one screen has got it in the one screen has got it on, and one screen didn't have it on. Anyway, right, okay. So if you head on over to Twitter, wait for it. It should be round about now, but I'll obviously schedule the tweets out, so it'll give you those final 2 links if you need a recap on those. So let me just bring back my on there. So Hugh from London has supplied this for you this evening. So we've got 9 Ditloids. You know the score, numbers and letters. See if you can make up what they are. So Ditloid number puzzles. This is a history edition. To be fair, some of them are quite straightforward. There's a couple of tricky ones as always. We don't want them to be too easy. Let me turn that on, that one on, that one there. Okay, yes, 9 of these coming up, and I'll see you in 7 minutes. No, I won't. I'll try it again. There we go. Okie dokie, right. Answers for these coming up then in just a short minute's time. I'm out of breath. I've probably said this before. The way I pre-record the Saturday quizzes is, or whenever I have to do pre-record, is I just start the quiz and record it all in one go. So rather than, you know, so I could edit the breaks in if I wanted to, but it's more work editing the breaks. It's just easier just to sign in, you know, an hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes. Push the record button, do the quiz, etc. So all the breaks play out as they would do normally. But a friend of mine's here too, a very good friend of mine's here, lending us his roof bars so we can go away. So I've just bolted downstairs just to give him a hand putting the roof bars on. And then run back upstairs when I realised I had a minute left. So yeah, just a little bit out of breath and now sweating. But let's give you the answers then to these. Again, a massive thank you to Hugh in London for these. So in 3, 2, 1. There we go. So number 1 is the signing or the sealing, whichever way you've gone with it, of the Magna Carta. This is why I've done these now, because I didn't want to do them in the first break, because it would have given you some answers. I'm just going to shuffle myself over here for a second. In fact, actually, no, I'm just going to turn my camera off for a second. Number 2, the Black Death. Number 3, the Battle of Agincourt. Number 4, the birth of William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare. Yeah, so these are all obviously the years that these took place. Where has it gone? Just trying to find the years. Yeah, William. Yeah, I can't even read that. There we go. 1564. Number 5, Guy Fawkes and the Gunpowder Plot. 1605. 1605. GF and the GB. Number 6, the Battle of Trafalgar. 1805. Number 7, the Treaty of Versailles. That's from 1919. Number 8, First Man on the Moon. That was obviously 1969. And finally, number 9, Fall of the Berlin Wall. 1989. Okay, so tot those up. How did you get on with those? Let me just sort everything back out on there. So yeah, tot those up. How did you do? And I've just looked as well. I'm just looking at it. I was thinking they're not really Ditloids because obviously the numbers aren't in the. Yeah, you know what I mean. They are Ditloids in terms of, but they're just not like number Ditloids, which did give me an idea. I can now do potentially Ditloids without the numbers. So as long as there's a reference point in there and not something stupid. Anyway, right, let's give you the answers then to the final 20 questions tonight. We kicked off round 2, part 2 even, with your connections round as always. And here we go. Number 1, what W is a city and county town on the River Severn? It is Worcester. Number 2, singer Catherine Hudson is better known as Katy Perry. Number 3, in which county will you find Sheringham? It is Norfolk. I thought it was Nottingham, but there you go. Norfolk. You'll see why in a minute. It all makes sense. Number 4, name the city on the Humber Estuary. City of Culture for 2017. It's Kingston upon Hull. I need to bring this up, actually, while I think about it. Number 5, where was Winston Churchill born? He was born at Blenheim Palace. Yeah, where have you gone? Where have you gone, Hugh? Where have you gone? There you are. Because Hugh gave me all the. It's not Hugh, it's Keith. Where have you gone, Keith? Keith, you're in my email. There you are. Keith gave me all the reasonings behind these. Number 6, what is the name of the person who sits in the back of a rowing boat and controls its direction? It is Cox. Number 7, if you find or uncover something, you make a discovery. Number 8, until 1964, this bridge on the Pacific coast of the USA was the longest suspension bridge in the world. It's the Golden Gate Bridge. I've got a question coming up on Zoe Ball's breakfast show about the Golden Gate Bridge. Don't know how well at this moment it's going to have gone down. It is evil. Number 9, Try was a hit in 2012 for this artist. It was Pink. And so what links them? They are all varieties of apple. So you've got Worcester Pearmain, the Katy apple, Norfolk dumpling or Norfolk royal. There's the Kingston black, the Blenheim orange, the Cox orange pippin, Discovery, golden delicious, and pink lady. So yeah, massive thank you to Keith Turk from Langport in Somerset for submitting that. Thank you very much, Keith. And your final 10 then came from me. Number 1, the Lambert Glacier, considered to be the world's largest, can be found on Antarctica. Number 2, in the game of Carom Billiards, how many pockets are on the table? There are none. Yeah, in the Carom Billiards, there are no pockets on the table. Number 3, how is cotton candy known in the United Kingdom? It's candy floss. Number 4, there are only 2 countries with X in their name, Mexico and which other? It is Luxembourg. Number 5, in the game of chess, how many pieces are on each side at the start of the game? There are 16. Number 6, what was the name of the only opera written by Beethoven? It was Fidelio. Number 7, who designed the current St. Paul's Cathedral in London? It's Sir Christopher Wren. Number 8, which planet is second closest to the sun? It's Venus. I'm your fire, your desire. Oh. Number 9, what name is given to a number that is divisible only by itself? And the number 1, it is a prime number. And finally, number 10, which sign of the zodiac is symbolized by an archer? It is Sagittarius. So there we go. That is all of your questions for this evening. Your 50 questions all boxed off. So how did you get on? If you are stuck on a level score with somebody else and you want a tiebreaker, it is here. And it's this, holding the record. How many times did... Oh, I've dropped something. Holding the record, how many times did Bob Hope host the Oscars? So he holds the record for most Oscar hosting duties, but how many times did he host it? And remember, if you end up on the same score, if you end up on the same answer as somebody else, or it's still a tiebreaker, as we've said, the new rules, you play rock, paper, scissors. I genuinely would love to know how many people have ended up having to play rock, paper, scissors because they've ended up on the same score. Right, pens down. 3, 2, 1. It is 19. He's hosted the Oscars 19 times, by far and away, hosting it more times than anybody else. So there you have it. That is all of your questions for this evening. Let me know. There should be a social post out around about now. So let me know how you got on tonight with this evening's questions. I am back with you on Thursday night with another live quiz and a pre-recorded one next Saturday night. All on the understanding and hope that we get back from Kent. Because while you're watching this, I'll be in Kent. Camping, we're due to head down on Friday and back on Monday morning. So it's only a couple of nights we're going down, but we're just going to go down and see Sarah's sister. So that is it from me. Thank you very much for joining us again. Thank you very much for being with us this evening. And I will see you all soon. As always from me, take care. Stay safe. Oh. Try that one.